Yes, sir. Day late, dollar short. So pay attention, can you afford? Everyday conversation, decision making, breakdown, point of views, of course. He say, she say, see how we play. Real life issues, hit the replay. Debate in politics, what sport you profit with. Today's word news, food for thought, so come get a plate. Pull up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome y'all to another episode of the Day Late Dollar Short podcast. As always, your host here is your boy Martin, and I'm with my partner in crime, Marlon. Sir, pleasure to be back with you.
What's good, man? We got a special guest with us. I'm very happy about this one. Looking forward to this one. Mr. Jada Plug from Jada Plug Fantasy Football Podcast.
All right,
Podcast. Welcome.
What's up, gentlemen?
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I'm super excited to have you, man.
I know, really exciting. Like, this is our first time talking about fantasy football, like, actually. So, we're looking forward to this conversation.
Man, I'm excited to be here, guys. I appreciate you having me very much.
Oh, not a problem, man. Look, I'm excited to have you, too, because I've been having a rough go of it this year, so I need some help, man.
I'll do my best.
That's all we can ask, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the fantasy football world, man. You know, Marlon and I were talking about it. He was telling me, man, you've been on with some big names, man, spitting this fantasy game, trying to get people in the win column. So what's going on? How'd you get here? Where are we going?
Man, it started, I've had an obsession with fantasy football for years and years and years. It really brought me into the game of football. Like, I fell in love with the game after playing my first year ball back in, I'll say 04.
Okay.
304. But when I was a kid growing up, man, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, we
stick.
all
right.
my peepaw and my meemaw, they would always change it on Monday nights to football, and I'd be trying to watch Looney Tunes. Well, I hated football at first, but yeah, my wife, God bless her, Miss Plug, she brought it to my attention, like, how much I love fantasy football. And, like, I was furloughed from work because business was real slow. So she actually brought up, why don't you mess around and do a podcast for fantasy football? And the rest is basically history. I've always given everybody tips and information about fantasy football just because they ask. And I've always wanted to do something I love, man. So I'm hoping this can turn into a career eventually.
Hey, right. That's the dream.
That's definitely the goal, man, for sure. Like, so who influenced you? Like, who do you really follow, like, big time as far as the fantasy football world? Like, you have, like, Adam Rank, you interviewed. I like, too, Nick of Big Dogs Fantasy. Do you follow him as well?
Yeah, Nick Ercolano, man. He's one of the guys who really made me – I'm big into pay it forward. And one thing I love about Nick is – his show is fantastic, and he goes into a lot of things about, like, how to turn it into a business and all that. Like, it's a fantastic show. Him and who is Snacks and Animal, like, they're hilarious, man. But
yeah, I know Snacks is a Giants fan, so I'm not really fan of him, but it's all good though.
But yeah, Nick is a great guy. He's always reached out. Anytime I've sent him a message, anything, he's always answered me back, man. And that opened my eyes to always wanting to try and help and promote and do anything for anybody who wants it. Even if they don't, I do it. If I like this show or if I like anything, I try and promote it as much as I can. But I'm a big Adam Rank fan. I started watching Adam whenever he was with, like, Matt Money Smith and Akbar Bajabiamila and all them, and Fabiano before he went to Sports Illustrated. And big Marcus Grant fan. I just got to interview him. They were awesome. Like, they were some of the few that actually answered me back, because my hustle, my grind, man, is sending out messages all day. Like, I'll be at work, and when I get a free moment, I just start sending out messages and hoping something sticks, throwing it against the wall, seeing what sticks. And I've had a couple people answer me back. At the end of the season, I'm going to have some pretty dope shit, but
that's awesome, man.
Can I say that?
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
This is not for kids, bro. You're good to go. You got free reign.
But yeah, so they answered me back fairly quick. had them on the show, and the rest is history with that. Like I've just got done doing right before this. Just interviewed Michael F. Florio, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Michael F. Florio, the new analyst for them, and they've been fantastic. So I've always really liked NFL Fantasy Live. Been a big fan of them. I like, Matt Berry. I met him a long time ago. He signed his book, but
yeah, he a Redskins fan, so I don't know about him either. But
he Philly fans.
Clearly,
I'm glad I'm wearing the right stuff, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been a big fan of pretty much anybody who's got something to say, somebody who's got some entertainment value to it as well. Like anybody, you can listen to anybody about fantasy football advice, but I mean, unless you got something that grabs my attention, I'm not in the right way, not the way that some people. And
some people just go for shock value, like it's empty, like it's empty calories. It's just like, they say something and it's like, where do you pull that from? And it's the same thing like rumors and reports. When you see something pop up on Twitter and it's like, where are you pulling this from, though? Like, what's the substance?
100%. And, a bunch of my buddies are going to give me some shit for saying this because I know they're all going to listen and watching it. Are y'all going to put this on YouTube, anything like that? Because it's a video. Okay, dope. So a bunch of people are going to watch and stuff, so they're going to know exactly who I'm talking to. But, whenever you try to shock somebody by saying, oh, thank God he got hurt so we can do some modeling. Bro, that makes me about to catch these, man.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
try Jesus.
God.
Don't try me.
Yeah, that's the one.
And he starts calling people haters and shit. And I mean, everybody knows who it is. I don't want to say his name because the thing is that'll do nothing but bring fucking attention to him. And that's what he's trying to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, enough of that negative shit.
Yeah.
Positivity.
Adam Rank, Marcus Grant, MJD. That was I love knowing whenever players are big fans of fantasy football and they play. That's awesome to me, man. Like,
they always have a unique perspective too, because you're on the other side of it at one point, and now you're on the fan side of it. And you're sitting here, you're like, I need you to get these catches. I need these yards. Like, I need you to run it up. Like, no, don't pull them in the fourth quarter. And, before that, it's like, all right, I'm out. I'm done. We up 20. I'm going to sit down. Y'all can figure this out.
Yeah. I love it, man. Like, you get like a Golden Tate. If you ever listen to him on the sidelines on those mic'd up, and he's like, "Oh man, our defense needs to hit it so I can get in there and get somebody's got to catch. You got to catch.
Yeah,
get it to Barkley so we can run it. It's hilarious, man. I love the way that stuff happens and pans out.
Okay, so getting into it, man, we're gonna jump right into it. This has been. So I'm gonna say this. I wasn't a fan of like. I've been a football fan all my life. I grew up in New Orleans. I'm a diehard Saints fan, black and gold all the way. I bleed it. That's what it is.
I'm so sorry to hear that, but go ahead.
I found Jesus at one point in time. Let's keep going with it. So I was not a fan of this year kicking off. I was not in any way, shape, or form, because most of us play sports. What it's like when you don't have an off season, when you don't have a training camp, if you played at any level, high school, collegiate, if you ain't go through the off season program, you were shit when it came to regular season, especially at the beginning, and you were prone to be hurt. I mean, I tore up 2 ankles, I tore up my knee trying to play, and I was like, I didn't do what I needed to do, and that's what it was. And I was like, okay, we're looking at this no off season program. People getting fined or whatever for working out together and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, we just need to call it a wash. And now here we are, week 3, and it's like, they got gravestones, bro. It's bad.
I mean, big facts. People dropping like flies, man. It's terrible.
And, especially in San Francisco.
San Francisco got, 9 or 10 people on the injury report easily?
Something like that.
Yeah,
man. And then I know for me, just fantasy football wise, I had Saquon. So I traded him right before last week.
Oh Lord!
I traded him because I had I was like, I had Fournette, and then Fournette goes to Tampa, and then I was banking on Fournette to have a big year, and then he gets cut, and I'm just like, what do I do now? So I was like, I got Saquon, and I was like, I need somebody else. So I traded Saquon for Mostert, for James Conner, and for AP.
Now, mind you, this is a dynasty league. Because look, he pissed me off with this. He and I were texting because he said, I'm putting Saquon on the block. All right, bet. So
I got to give my boy a first run at him.
That's fine. I'm like, all right, I'll give you DeAndre Swift, Antonio Gibson, and Hollywood Brown. In Dynasty. That sounds pretty good. Don't you think?
Dynasty?
Yeah.
In Dynasty.
Yeah.
Not redraft.
Hollywood Brown, Antonio Gibson, and who else?
DeAndre Swift.
So I'll say this.
So Jada Plug, who would you rather? You rather Raheem Mostert, James Conner, AP, or Swift, Hollywood Brown, and Gibson?
So a geriatric and 2 injury-prone players, or
no. I'm with it. No. I actually agree with you. Here was the thing that I told him. I didn't want Swift. I didn't care about Swift or Gibson. What I wanted was Miles Sanders. I wanted Miles Sanders. That's it.
You did. And I'm like,
I told him he could have packaged it any other way, but Miles Sanders made it for me.
Okay, so Miles Sanders had to be involved in what he was giving in order to give Saquon.
Yeah.
Oh, if he would have given you Miles Sanders and I don't know, a wide receiver 2, would you have taken that? Like say a Miles Sanders and a Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, I'd have considered it. Straight up, I'd have
considered it. Would you have taken it?
I'd have probably asked for a pick too, because it's Saquon. Like pre-injury, I'd have asked for a pick, or like second, third round. Something.
See, I'm an Eagles fan, so I'm not getting up Sanders. I'm not doing it.
This is where this is okay. So you would have taken Miles Sanders, McLaurin, and a pick, or you would have considered that.
At the very least.
At the very least.
I would have considered it, and I would not have taken the other offer.
But you wouldn't take his other offer? I would have taken his other offer all day if it's Dynasty.
So here's the thing. I didn't like it's Dynasty. I got like 6 or 7 picks in the first 2 rounds of this year's draft. So
next year's draft.
Yeah. So
okay.
And my thing was, when I looked at New York, I was like, I'm not a fan of Daniel Jones. Like, I'm just not. I don't see it.
Hey, we're right here. When people were hyping him up, I'm like, I'm
not. Like, I wasn't. I was like, you say Daniel Jones, you might as well say Blaine Gabbert as far as I'm concerned, because I don't care one way or another. So I'm like, you're going to stack the box against Saquon. That's what you're going to do. You're going to put 8 people in a box, and you're going to trust Daniel Jones to throw a pick.
Yeah. Or fumble.
Exactly.
So I was like, I didn't like Swift with the rotation in Detroit. And then
you would end up taking that job though.
Eventually, but I'm not. I can't play for eventually right now. Like, I'm trying to win.
It's Dynasty.
But here's the thing.
You know what I mean?
Let's keep it 100. We play Dynasty, but we also play to win. And injury prone or not, Mostert is 25, whatever. James Conner
28. He's 28.
Okay, he's 28. James Conner's 25. If I get 2 years out of him, I'm happy. Because at the end of the day, but look, AP was a kicker. And matter of fact, AP was a counter just to see if he would actually do it. Because he offered me somebody else I didn't want. And I was just like, AP just came off a 100-yard game. Let me see if I can pull something extra out of it. Because really, asking for AP was a counter. I didn't expect him to take it. Because he just came off like a 100-yard game. So it really was, let me see what he's going to do. And then he took it, and I was just like, well, damn, here we are.
Pissed me off. So look, get a plug. So speaking about Barkley in Dynasty, do you have him? Do you try to trade him now, or you just hold on to him?
It depends on the offers. It depends on what. I mean, I'm always down to field offers. I don't know if y'all have seen any of the PSAs I put out. they're meant to be funny, but they're also
Yeah, funny,
also
yeah.
the truth in the jokes. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you'll get a trade that will spark your interest, kind of like you were saying, Martin, and you'll consider it.
Right.
But then you start thinking about all the factors, and that's the
Right.
thing is that you end up waiting, and then you end up losing it, and then you're like, damn, it's just like
Yeah.
I've been in sales my whole life, so whenever you take it away, it's like, oh shit, what did I do?
And see,
But
that's
it
me.
it all depends on what the offers are. Barkley has been hurt every season. Remember whenever he did that one dive where he skied and then landed right on the
Awkwardly.
back, he pulled his hamstring. He came back into the game, but he hyperextended his knee. Then last season he ended up getting hurt and missing 3 games.
Yeah.
3 games or 4? 3 games.
3 games.
And then now this season he's missing the entire season. So I'm more leaning toward trading him.
And what about McCaffrey? Kind of same thing? Or I mean, his like 4 to 6 weeks.
McCaffrey for dear life.
Yeah.
I have McCaffrey in another league. It's a standard. It's not a dynasty league, but I don't care. Like I feel like he's the one. Even with him being hurt for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks, whatever it is, he'll bail you out at the end of the year.
Oh, 100%. He's going to come back better than he was before because these kind of injuries, when you come back from them, your ankles are stronger.
Right.
Like that, like if you have like a quad injury or anything, I know it sounds crazy, but whenever they do the surgeries and stuff, they come back a little bit stronger. But when you have a multiple years, like a Barkley, and there's different issues, eventually you're going to get that injury-prone, patch right on your back. Now, McCaffrey, when he got hurt, he was off on the side. They taped him up. He was doing drills and cutting and stuff, and he was okay. But they wanted to be careful with him because they already got behind by 3 scores.
Right.
So I just say hold on to McCaffrey for dear life if you can, unless there is a hell of a I'm talking Kamara and high-end wide receiver too, and possibly a pick or something if you're in Dynasty.
So you know what? That's kind of crazy because actually Nick on his public podcast this morning, matter of fact, they had a conversation about CMC. And as of right now, Carolina's not really a good team. So if you say his timeline is 4 to 6 weeks, maybe by that point, Carolina's 0-8. So why rush CMC if your team's going to be good? That's something to consider too, don't you think?
No, I understand that completely. If you're looking at this year, I'm talking
this year.
Dynasty. This year, man, it's tough because it's still McCaffrey. Even if they get a few touches, he could still take it yard. You know what I mean? Like he's got that huge play potential, and I mean every time he touches the ball.
Right.
And he catches a lot out of the – see, I play PPR in most of my leagues. I don't really play any standard league anymore.
Yeah.
So he is an asset. He to me, I'll be honest, like I've told everybody Kamara is the number 1 pick for me. He just is. And everybody's like, no. And I found out I've got a buddy of mine who works with the Saints who told me about the epidural shot. That's why whenever I brought that up, everybody's like, what the hell are you talking about? And then all of a sudden it broke, like Adam Schefter comes out with it. And everybody starts going crazy and asking me questions. And I'm sitting here waiting for my buddy to reach out to me and let me know.
Right.
But everybody got freaked out by it. Everybody, whenever they hear anything that has to do with being looked at for a potential injury or something to help pain or anything, everybody loses their mind.
Right.
So right now, everybody's freaking out about McCaffrey. So thing is, the reason why I wouldn't trade him is because you're not going to get shit for him, really. People are going to be, he's hurt and he's injury prone now and he's got this new coach and all this stuff.
Yeah, they're going to buy low on him. They're not going to give you what he's worth.
Right. And see, they're going to put him in, even if you made a really good point though, Marlon. Like, I mean, if they're 0-8, why would they risk their golden goose, so to speak, all that money?
Right.
But they would put him in enough and have him catching balls out of the backfield enough to take all the edge off of Bridgewater. And Bridgewater ain't that dude, I'm sorry. But enough to where he could be – he's still – you just put him in your lineup and let him sit. He's that good.
Yeah.
So,
because if he breaks if he breaks one for 40, 50, 60 yards and scores, that made your day. Yeah,
and McCaffrey can do it.
That's like that was my motivation behind taking Mostert. Because Mostert didn't even play the whole game, and he pulled off like almost 20 points.
What's up, Marlon?
Isn't he hurt right now?
He is hurt.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
James Conner isn't for some reason.
Oh, yeah, man.
You know what?
No McKinnon.
Look,
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
yeah, I mean the Niners have a rotation of who's not going to be hurt this week. What's the new guy? Wilson, I think. That
They
they
have
just pulled.
McKinnon and Wilson. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wilson.
So I have Michael Thomas, and I brazenly in another league. So look, okay, we started this league, and I said, screw it, I'm gonna do whatever I want. This is gonna one where I just go crazy. So I drafted Michael Thomas as my first pick, and
What spot though? Be clear. What spot?
You say first pick,
But what spot? Be clear.
number 2 overall.
And this is not a free league, buddy. This is a money league. So I'm like,
yes, bold.
right.
I mean, I said,
Go ahead.
what, how many players are in that like 400 or 500 point category? Like how many players really break that threshold?
You
gotta go RBs first. But go ahead, J Plug. Go ahead.
Marlon, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry, but yeah, I completely I agree with you though, Marlon. I'm a heavy running back drafter at first, at least the first 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
However, awesome thing about fantasy football and all these notes and all this crap that I do and taking all this stuff and the analysis and all this stuff, I can make a stat or a just a stat basically, or I can make an argument, if you will, for anybody really in that top 10 to be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically Matthew Berry comes out with this thing, his top 100 at the beginning of every season. And at the very beginning, he always goes over 2 players, and they're both neck and neck. And then one, Christian McCaffrey, and one's like just saying like Raheem Mostert, because he pulls out all the good stuff of Mostert and just does the mediocre stuff. You can make anybody sound
right
like a beast. Like whenever you're trying to build up your homeboy to set him up with some chick or something, you make them sound amazing.
Right.
And she meets him, and it's but she drafted him first, and then it ends up being, crap. But vice versa. You can make a good argument for Mike Thomas to be number 2 overall. You never know if he's going to get hurt. The guy is normally never hurt ever, and then Kamara, the one time he falls on his ankle. So, but Thomas is going to be fine. I mean, they said that he's already making cuts.
He's running and doing all that. Yeah. So
doing all that.
I mean, and that was my thing, because the offense is going to go through him and Kamara.
Correct.
Cook is the third option down there. I never saw Emmanuel Sanders coming in and really taking away from Michael Thomas's share significantly. And then that was it. Traquan Smith had a breakout game last week, but why? Emmanuel Sanders didn't do anything. Michael Thomas was out. Cook was a late third option. And then Kamara did Kamara's thing, but Kamara's, profit share or time share of the office doesn't affect the wide receivers the way it affects other running backs.
Correct.
It's not like how, in Carolina, McCaffrey eats from everybody because they don't have anybody else really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very true.
And that's why I was comfortable, like, screw it. He's going to get 150 catches this year. That's 150 points. I'll take it.
Oh, man.
He gets 8 touchdowns.
He still could.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He gets 8 touchdowns and 6 points a touchdown. That's another, 50-some points. And then, there it is. He's top 15 in fantasy again.
Not this year.
Hater.
What's that?
He said not this year.
He's just hating. So,
he's been
and I'll say
quiet
this.
all this time, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Right. And I'll say this.
No,
so,
yeah.
I'm
This
big
year,
on quarterbacks.
in the top 10, I guarantee that. Martin, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt.
No, I'm big on quarterbacks. I always have been, because I'm still, running backs, yeah, but the quarterback literally touches the ball every play. And if he's a dual threat quarterback, I love him even more. So, like, when I see guys like Lamar, when I see guys like Mahomes, I have Russ in every league I'm in. I have Russ in every league.
When do you normally draft him in your draft? Like what round?
Honestly, like 3rd, 4th, easily.
You normally pick him with your third pick?
Third or 4th, yeah. No. Here's the thing. He's gonna play. You can say it's a no, but the guy gets you 400. Like I do the math. I'm a sales guy. I'm a metrics guy. I always have been. I look at if 1 + 1 = 2, that's what it is. I know I can count on him to give me 20 points a week. every week, guaranteed. And right
but
now,
you're sacrificing a premier position in running back.
And if he gets hurt like Saquon did, then where I'm at.
Well, what if he doesn't?
I'm fine if he doesn't.
And that's his thing. You know, that's my thing. Like, so running back and quarterback are like 1 and 1A for me. And it's usually normally first 2 picks are running backs. And then I'll look at, depending on who's available, I'm either going to go maybe receiver if I can still get who I feel like is a solid wide receiver 1, or I'm going to go quarterback depending on who is available. Because if he's mobile, then guess what? He's going to get me more than just those passing points.
True.
That's my logic behind it. Like Russ in our league, Russ has 90 points after 2 games. Oh
yeah, mine too. I mean, Russell Wilson is a monster. Now, something I preach big time. If y'all have been able to listen to any of my episodes and podcasts or something, I'm very big on going for your guy.
Mm-hmm.
If you got your guy that you want, I can't fault you. If you just say that's the guy that I wanted, I had to have him. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Now, if you take a look at what Russell Wilson has done, and you got him at your 3rd or 4th pick, yes,
mm-hmm.
You can wait.
6th round, probably.
What's that?
5th round, 6th round. I think you probably Russ.
5th, 6th round. Some people reach. I also, when it comes to quarterback, I also watch the way that everybody else in my drafts are drafting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they start going, I mean, it doesn't make a difference if you're a expert or whatever. Mm-hmm. People go on a QB run or a tight end run because they're like, oh shit, I got to get one of those top guys.
Yep.
The crazy thing is that there's a gentleman by the name of Josh Allen who does pretty much exactly what Russ Wilson is doing right now. And I got him in the 7th.
Yeah.
And I decided to go because I get QBs late. Unless I'm just, man, I've got to have Lamar Jackson. But people go for him in the 1st.
Yeah, they do.
1st round, 2nd round. Man, that is prime real estate for a running back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
In the following round, you can get another running back and then a wide receiver and stuff because wide receiver is deep, but running back or QB is really deep, man. I mean, look at Gardner Minshew. Holy shit. He went undrafted in a lot of the leagues. He's on waiver wires right now.
Yeah,
Not in my league. Guaranteed he's on my team if he was there whenever I was ready to draft. 100%. And, I mean, you seriously, it's just like you said, you're set at QB with Gardner Minshew. He's that guy. He can make it happen with what he has. And you got DJ Shark, who's incredible, but he's not going to be playing because he's hurt. But then he's got Keelan Cole and Laviska Shenault and stuff, and you don't even think about these guys until he's throwing on the ball. This dude's got skill. He's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah.
But now, because of the way he's doing it, somebody's going to reach for him next season. So you wait. I'm big on waiting on QBs. I can understand if you go for him because that's the guy that you've got to have because you're a fan or something. Totally understand. Totally understand. That's another reason why I like Kamara at number 1. I want a guy that I'm going to enjoy watching whenever I play.
Yeah.
What's happening, man?
Because, well, even like Cam Newton, like he was a value this year as well. Like people like getting him in double-digit rounds, and look at him now. I think he's like number 3 in scoring in the quarterback scoring, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Something like
number
that.
3, I believe, so far in 2 weeks, and then I think he's top 2 in rushing for a quarterback?
I think so, something like that. I think. Like Cam Newton surprised me. I think he'd be as good right now. It's still early in the season, but what he's been doing has been pretty impressive. It really has been.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad that he's doing what he's doing. I'm really happy for Cam Newton. He's a blast to watch, and whenever you see him, he's having fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. And you got Belichick talking about him, like giving him praise, and Belichick didn't even praise Brady.
Right.
At all. I bet Brady's sitting back like, God damn, what did I have to do to make – 6 rings? And this
Wasn't enough.
One more.
Look, my quarterback was Russ, Cam, Tannehill. Somehow I ended up with all 3 of them. And
you drafted 3 quarterbacks.
Huh?
You drafted 3 quarterbacks?
I didn't draft – no. So Cam was a free agent, and I picked him up. Because when I saw him when I said he's going to New England, he's with Belichick, I was like, they got a stable enough offensive line, young receivers, reliable backs, and I like their defense. So he's not going to be playing from behind a lot, if at all. So I was like, Cam's a safe backup to have. And I like Tannehill. I just picked him up because last year I had Russ, and then I had Fitzpatrick and Jameis. And honestly, having that cost me my championship.
30 for 30.
Not yes. Yes. Like having those quarterbacks cost me the championship last year.
Look,
so
with Jameis Winston, you get a cat who can start you off negative 15 points and come back and get you to 30?
Yes.
Look, now that he's with the Saints and everything, I'm glad that we have him. I'm hoping that he's going to be the heir apparent because if he learns from Peyton and Breeze.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Man. But, yeah, I mean, it's nothing wrong with those. Now, Tannehill is balling this year. Like
he is.
I can admit I'm a man that can admit when he's wrong because Tannehill was nowhere on my list. I was like, no, thanks, I'm out. And then I see what he's doing.
I don't think anybody's list. I mean,
Well,
he just
was
under the radar.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. When I saw the team they put together,
bro,
and you put an average quarterback with Derrick Henry and the rest of that team, when they're not a mistake-prone guy, they're gonna do well. And Tannehill, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. It's just where did he come from? Somewhere who wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Miami.
Exactly. Miami, and look where Miami's at now. That's great, but they built up like 9,000 draft picks in the last 2 years to get where they're at. Tannehill, he suffered with the David Carr syndrome. You go to a really bad team and you're expected to bail them out, and he wasn't the guy to do that. But you give him A.J. Brown, you give him, what's the tight end, Jonnu, you give him Derrick Henry, solid offensive line, and a good defense. Yeah, okay. He can do something. And what is he doing? He's balling, which is why I had no problem. I ended up trading Cam Newton for a first-round pick next year. Because he's a 30-year-old quarterback. I'll take a first-round pick for Cam.
Who gave you a first-round pick for Cam Newton?
A new guy.
Who is it? Who was it?
It's someone they invited into the league. I just threw it out there. I was like, I just threw it out there. I was like, hey, let's see what happens. He had a 45-point week last week. Let's capitalize when it's high.
Yep.
100%, man. I don't have any issue with that. See, and that's, man, what do y'all – okay, I've got a question because y'all definitely – I mean, you don't give yourselves enough credit about fantasy football. So what do you think – like, do y'all have a veto system whenever it comes to trades? Does the commissioner do it? Do people veto?
If we see something that's definitely one-sided, we'll bring it to everybody's attention and then vote. But for the most part, we don't really veto because, I mean, that kind of just kills, it's bad, so we'd rather not veto. So it's like, something outrageous, like, that's no.
If it's blatant collusion, I'll raise 9 kinds of hell about it. But, I mean, for me, I feel like in the leagues we're in, everybody we play with, they're either reasonable or unreasonable to the sake where the trade won't go through. Like, I've been trying to work a deal with a guy for like 2 weeks now. He wants Russ. That's cool. I want a lot for Russ. like I want a lot. And this is when I had Cam. Who was giving me 40 points. I don't have Cam now. He has Kamara. I was like, I want Kamara.
That's not happening.
Exactly. I know it's not
Especially
happening.
in
Dynasty. But he had Aaron Jones too. So I said, okay, I'll take Aaron Jones. And he keeps offering me Edelman. I don't want Edelman. No. Edelman's washed. I love him, but no.
He's offering you Edelman for Russ?
He's offering me Aaron Jones and Edelman.
For Russell Wilson. Who are your running backs?
So I have Mostert, James Conner.
Take that immediately.
See,
take that immediately.
See, I can't do it. It goes like it's just something that doesn't feel right with the salesman in me. Because
now the only thing I'll defend him on is Edelman. I mean, how many years you give him?
The thing.
Like one more year?
I'm not buying Edelman right now because he doesn't have Brady. And I like
him though. Have you seen he's been playing? He's been playing all right.
No, he's been playing great, but I don't feel like it's sustainable. Like I don't feel like I'm gonna see that week 10, week 12, week 14. Like when I'm looking at it, I don't feel like I'm gonna see those numbers. And guess what? That's when I'm gonna be in the playoffs, and that's when I'm gonna need Edelman. And it's like, do I give up Russ who I know I can count on in the playoffs, or, you know, because for Aaron Jones, and I love Aaron Jones, don't get me wrong, because he is a monster, but I can't justify Russ not having that guaranteed production from Russ for Aaron Jones, who may give me 20, who might give me 10, who might give me 45.
Okay. Well, does he have anybody else that you're willing to go with besides Edelman?
He did, but he won't offer. He won't offer. I've done counters several times. He's either Ingram or Edelman, and I want neither.
Oh my God. You're telling me that he's offering you Mark Ingram and Aaron Jones for Russell Wilson. And your running backs are Raheem Mostert.
Well, okay, so my running backs are James Conner. So let's say this. I started the year with Saquon Barkley and Leonard Fournette, and I thought nothing was going to change from that. And clearly, this is where we are. So I got Peterson, obviously. I picked up Gore off waivers. I picked up McCoy. I have Cam Akers. And then I have James Conner. I also, mind you, so let's look at my injury reserve. Le'Veon Bell. Look, now let's look at my injury reserve. I got Le'Veon Bell from Marlin. I also have Raheem Mostert on there. I have Marlon
really?
Mack.
That's a shocker.
And I had Marlon Mack, who I was counting on. So it was my top 3 RBs were Barkley, Fournette, and Marlon Mack. That's who I was going into the season with.
Well, the year, yeah.
And now I'm here with, 3 running backs on IR, James Conner, and I'm starting Mike Davis this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this guy is giving you a get-out-of-jail-free card, man.
But I can't give up Russ.
You need help at running back. But I get it. You want Russ. That's your guy.
That's so bad. You like I get a Russ.
When I say I get it, meaning that's your dude. So it's got to be something real.
The value has to be there.
I get that. I can understand having your guy. I don't know, man. If it were my team, I'd be looking for something to strengthen my running back stable. But I get it. Russ is your dude. I can respect that.
Yeah. I mean, look, like I said, I went into the year expecting to have Barkley, Fournette, and Marlon Mack, and not worry about anything. And now, now I have what I have.
So before we get into the starts and assists of the week, Fournette, what do you do with Fournette? Do you try to trade him right now, or do you hold on to him? Both in redraft and dynasty. What do you do with him?
And trade him right now. He is he's a hit or miss kind of guy. He's not going to get as many touches as everybody thought he was because they want to believe in Ronald Jones Jr. for now. And this is another one that I put my hand up and say, my bad, I got this one wrong. Because as soon as they drafted Keyshawn Vaughn, I thought that was it. Because that
me too.
Catch out of the backfield, and he's a beast downhill, man. And I think he's the future of the game there. But I think Arians wants to prove that Ronald Jones is what he tried to make him to be last season. They brought in Fournette. Hand to God, I believe they brought Fournette in because they were talking about taking him up in New England. Mm-hmm. And he did. And Tom Brady, old Giselle's bitch, came forward and said, I want Fournette because I don't want – if I can't have him, no one can.
Yes.
And especially Bill Belichick. He did not want Belichick to have him because last time Belichick had a running back like him, like Garrett Blunt, and they destroyed
everybody. They made
Corey Dillon.
Corey Dillon, they punish people in behind a really good offensive line, which is, that's New England's staple was never Tom Brady, in my opinion. It was always an amazing offensive line that allowed Tom Brady to be Tom Brady.
Very true.
Ooh, imagine Cam Newton and Leonard Fournette together? That'd be kind of crazy.
Bro, that'd
be one of the top rushing teams.
It'd be much like Baltimore.
They'd be right up there with Baltimore, I guarantee it.
Because Baltimore had 240 yards rushing last game or something like that?
Something, man. My God.
That backfield is you can't figure out what you do with that backfield.
No, and man, J.K. Dobbins.
Dobbins is serious.
Like
I missed out on him.
him.
Somebody had a higher waiver priority than me, and I was highly upset about that one.
He's good. I like him.
I went into drafts taking him. Him and A.J. Dillon, I took Dillon a lot, and then I ended up dropping him.
I did too.
Because I figured, you know, anytime somebody says regression, I mean, miss me with that shit. I don't mean, look, you can regret. Look, Aaron Jones can regress.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what he had? He had 19 touchdowns on the ground and then, 4 in the air? So 20 total?
Like yeah.
Of course, there's a possibility for regression.
Yeah. He doesn't have 23 touchdowns. He has 16.
Yeah. Oh. No, I don't need that.
Yeah.
Who's
going to say no to that?
And see, like, everybody said the same thing about Mike Thomas.
The bus.
Like, everybody said the same thing about Mike Thomas. He's going to regress. Every single season since his rookie season, and he has done nothing. Kept climbing that ladder.
Right.
Kept getting better and better and better. This year he got hurt. You can't help that.
Right.
Granted, his first game, he had 4.7 fantasy points. But, man, I hate to say it, but Breeze is not himself anymore. He's just not. I hate saying that, but
it's real.
Bringing him to the hill and all that.
Look, I'm the guy who said we should have traded Breeze 3 years ago, but that's just me. I wanted to see. I get that word right there when eyes get really big. But I mean, you get it. I'm the type of guy that you move somebody when you can get the most for them. It's like you got 3 years left with Breeze maybe, and we can see his arms not where we wanted it to be, where we thought it was going to be. You traded him a couple years ago, and maybe you got Lamar, maybe. And if you didn't get Lamar, maybe you got a free agent, or maybe because if you'd have traded Breeze to Baltimore, you think you could have got a first for him? Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, coming off almost 2 Super Bowl appearances, coming off making a Super Bowl twice, 70% accuracy.
It depends on the state of the team. If they are like in rebuilding mode, they're not gonna do it.
But Baltimore
they'll win now. I'm saying if they'll win now, they may consider it. But a first round for an old guy, I don't know. Like I wouldn't do it.
I could see a second round. I think they could argue a second round.
Yeah.
But I don't know about a first. They probably get a second round in like a DB or something.
Yeah, but
a conditional pick like later on that draft, or like a 7 or something.
Or you take it. I'm always taking advantage of the needy. So I'm like, hey, Miami looked like a great team to trade him to. Them old guys retiring their forward.
Come on,
but no, Miami wasn't gonna win. But who did they have? Nobody.
But I'm nobody.
I'm an opportunist. I take advantage of the needy. I'm trying to hit who's hurting.
If they're like a young team, why would I trade for a 38-year-old quarterback? I'm not doing it.
To get you over to that young guy. Because if you're somebody that has like a Haskins, or if you're somebody that had like a Kyler Murray, or if you're somebody that had that young quarterback who maybe you wanted to possibly give him a year, like they did with Mahomes, like they did with Aaron Rodgers.
I see that. I can see
that's my argument for it. Other than that, though, nah. Like I ain't.
See, in that case, I'd rather just like get somebody out the street, like a veteran. Like let him like spot start for a couple weeks or whatever. And
right. Let him throw 13 picks, and your fan base want to burn the stadium down.
Oh well.
I was hoping we were going to draft Herbert, man. I was really hoping for Herbert.
Yeah.
But
I didn't. Yeah.
Man, Herbert there.
So all right. So because we'll continue to talk about this all week. Like it's not like we're not doing a podcast. So yeah. Who's your starting sits? Like the what you think, Marlon? The five people you have to start this week?
Yeah, like quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense. Who are your top 5 starters at each position?
Man, I've got to think of all the games being played. See, I'm in 12 leagues. I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. I'm barely doing 6.
Dude, man, my God, 6 is. Oh God, I wish I was doing 6 leagues.
Yeah, I'm 6. Yeah.
Trying to remember the. Let me see. So, QB must start Gardner Minshew for sure.
Tonight.
Tonight. Sit Cousins. I'm sorry. I understand that he's going to do better than last week. Or you're asking for just starts right now. I'm sorry.
Well, we can just do both of them. Yeah, do both of them. Knock it out. Do both of them. Starts and sits. Yeah.
Okay. Cousins, I mean, there's no way that he could do worse than last week. I have yet to see a quarterback that ever had negative points. But, I mean, there's a first time for everything. I mean, Cousins deserves it. He's got that dad bod with those fucking New Balance shoes. Running back, Josh Kelly, must start.
Yes.
Must start Josh Kelly. David Johnson against Pittsburgh. I sang that dude's praises because, I mean, it's David Johnson. And still, even if he has a rough week, which a rough week was still double digits, but, I mean, it's, you know, you've seen what he can do in which is 4 years ago, but still, it's David Johnson. He can knock one off real, like, you know. He reminds me of Alfred Morris whenever he first started blowing up at Washington. He reminds me of Alfred Morris now. Like, what Alfred Morris did, that's what David Johnson is now. He's he's startable, and he can get you a really good week, but sometimes it might shit the bed. Wide receiver, Corey Davis, big time. They have tried so hard to make tried so hard to make that guy the guy, and it took forever. And now A.J. Brown's hurt, and then Corey Davis, even whenever Brown was in there, I mean, he's still got a ton of targets, got some good yardage. I mean, he played the way they've always wanted him to. Hollywood Brown against Kansas City.
That hurts.
He's one of those guys that can be a big play waiting to happen at any moment. But Kansas City's been playing okay against the pass. I mean, their defense isn't as bad as people say they. I mean, they're balling out right now. So that's. Start Marquise Brown. I mean, I've got other options. Tight end, start Noah Fant. That dude is on fire.
Oh, that dude's a beast.
That ball. Yeah, with Cortland Sutton out for the rest of the season, he's about to eat, man. And that dude, when he catches the ball, it's so much fun to watch him after the catch. He's just fun to watch. A sit, T.J. Hawkinson against Arizona. Arizona used to be terrible against the tight end. They recently have gotten a little bit better, but because Kenny Galladay's coming back, you got Marvin Jones. Even without Kenny Galladay, the first game, just like last season, Hawkinson ate. And then the second game, he started losing a ton of targets. And they're starting to incorporate the backfield again into their passing game with DeAndre Swift and Kerryon Johnson, who for some reason hasn't gotten hurt yet, which is I'm happy he's not. I don't want anybody to get hurt, but you know, it's just par for the course that Kerryon Johnson's not going to be there all season. And AP is going to end up taking a backseat to Swift eventually. It's just going to happen.
AP will be there all season.
You heard that, right? You heard that, Martin. About
Swift would have caught that touchdown at the end of the game. We'd be talking about a whole different in Detroit.
If Swift would have caught that touchdown at the end of the game, I'd have took the trade.
Well, I look at potential, man. They threw him the ball. They're going to do it again.
Yes.
Russ, that's one thing I like about Matt Stafford. He's a Georgia boy, too. He's going to try and get his alumni taken care of.
Yeah.
So I think Kerryon has one more year on his contract. So you think he'll be gone by end this year, or he'll be gone by next year? You think?
He'll be gone. I don't know about by the end of this year. If he gets hurt, he will be. But he won't. He'll either get picked up in free agency next year, or because nobody's going to trade for him. He's too injury prone. I mean, unless it's just. I see it being kind of like a Fournette thing where, I mean, not for the same reason. I think people are going to be like, man, I can't believe nobody traded for him. And then he ends up being a free agent, which why not? I didn't understand that whole thing with Fournette, but that's a whole other story. Now, defense. I am a fan of defenses. Now, I'm a big defense streamer. Indianapolis is going to be one of the best streamers you can get this week.
That's the Jets.
Anybody playing the Jets?
You get them.
Anybody playing Washington, but the Jets, man.
So the Jets are this year's Jets or last year's Miami?
For the most part.
Yeah.
Honestly, that carried me to my championship. Whoever was playing Miami, because I have Devontae Parker, I have Jodeci, so I know he's going to be good. But whoever's playing them is who I took every week. I was streaming whatever defense played.
Oh, 100%. Josh Rosen, please put him in the game. Yeah, man. I remember I had Philadelphia. I streamed, like, I'm the kind of guy who, like, I've already picked up. Let's see, who are they playing? Oh, man. The Jets are playing next week. They're playing, oh, my God.
They're playing Denver.
Thank you, Denver, because Drew Lock is out. Cortland Sutton is out. They've got two of their bum-ass, Blake Bortles and who? Somebody?
And Driscoll.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeff Driscoll.
You pick up – I've already picked up the Jets to play them next week. So I've got two defenses, but I had Preston Williams sitting on my bench, and I was just like, okay, I don't need him. So I just grabbed that defense. I set myself up. Get you 20-plus points easy because right when it starts, you got 10 right off the bat.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, you know, I think ahead when it comes to defenses. But, yeah, Indianapolis this week is definitely one of the top streamers. Them, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is pretty strong. Their run defense is still pretty stout. So, yeah.
They play Carolina, I think. No, they play
who?
Tampa Bay. Who they play?
Tampa Bay is playing.
They play Denver. They play Denver.
They play Denver. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I might start them too. I got
good start. That's a good start.
So who would you stash that's hurt right now? Because I mean, I'm stashing quite a few people that are hurt.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean,
clearly.
Spots. Besides the obvious guys like Saquon and McCaffrey and whatnot, Jamison Crowder, he's one that I'm holding on to. Even though he is part of the Jets offense, he is the Jets offense. So, you know, he's somebody I'm stashing. I'll pay attention to is LaMichael Perrone, the running back of the Jets, because I believe Gore is out. If I read correctly, I think Gore's out and Bell's out. So, I mean, who are they going to feed the ball to? I think this kid's going to end up being something impressive. By the end of the season. I mean, impressive-ish. I mean, somebody that you can, you know, plug and play, so to speak.
Right.
So, let's see. I like, well, Antonio, somebody you're not really stashing, but who is it? Forgive me, man. I'm sorry. Malcolm Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's another one I got to raise my hand to. That's fucking wrong.
That was 1 week though, man. I think that was just 1 week. I just
I remember, like, if I have a player or a coach or somebody who actually follows my page, which I don't have any right now, I don't think, but like I'm like, oh, dope, cool. Somebody who's a professional in the league actually gives a shit. Malcolm Brown started following me for about a week, and then I put out my episode. And I think the words I used were, Malcolm Brown's there. I'm not going to waste anybody else's time by talking about it more. And I'm like, no hand to God. After I dropped that episode, I don't know if he heard it or somebody heard it and told him, or who gives a shit about my episodes is what I'm saying. But like, I think something happened because he took that follow away quick.
Real quick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
Easy.
Hey, I think maybe it was an accident. Maybe he accidentally hit that little follow button by accident or something, a butt dial kind of thing. I don't know. But all I know is he took that shit away as soon as I dropped that Rams episode.
That's rough, man. That's rough.
Let's see. But, yeah, Jamison Crowder is definitely one that I would hold on to. A lot of people are dropping him, and I'm picking him right up. Because he's somebody that is getting the ball thrown to him. It's all about targets, man. I mean, I play PPR, so I mean, I'll look at somebody like if somebody has a real shit game, like look at OBJ. Okay, he had a rough week. What happened? Well, you got him too?
Not anymore.
Oh, you traded him. What'd you get?
I had him. I traded him away right after that week. I traded him.
A lot of people did, man, and I don't blame you, because he's with the Browns.
Yeah.
But everybody thought that team was going to be unbelievable because of the way Baker Mayfield started at the beginning of last season, his rookie season.
Mm-hmm.
Rookie,
And is this his second year or third year?
This is
third year.
Third year. Okay, the way that he started off in his rookie season,
mm-hmm.
everybody thought it was going to be the second coming of in fashion, he's
Johnny Manziel 2.0.
100%. 100%.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, it's a good thing he's making all that money with them fucking commercials. But
Yes, God, does he have a lot of them.
Hulu.
Hey, bro, I hope Hulu
Right.
paying him. Hulu got to be paying more than his NFL salary. Shit.
dude, I mean, my God. But I think OBJ had had a game that he's capable of in the second week. So everybody's like, oh man, damn, I shouldn't trade him away. I don't think he's going to continue to do that all year. I think he's going to have a couple boom games and mostly busts.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just to answer your question, instead of trailing off, Jamison Crowder is somebody I'm really holding on to. Malcolm Brown is somebody to stash and see how they played out. Derek Henderson, he's good, but Malcolm Brown is a better back in my opinion. I think Devery Henderson over the long run will be better because he's younger, and Akers is going to be in and out with rib issues. So, eventually Akers is going to be the one to own there or roster there. But Malcolm Brown or anybody in the Rams backfield is good to have and stash. But yeah, that's basically who I'm really holding on to is Jamison Crowder in PPR format. Standard formats, no, I'm not even touching it.
Good. Okay. So right now, who you got in the Super Bowl? What's your prediction?
Super Bowl? It's going to be the Saints and the Chiefs.
Okay.
Nope.
I think it's going to be the Chiefs and the Seahawks.
Okay.
As much as I love my team, I think it's going to be the Seahawks. As much as I love the Saints and I want it to be us, I got to go with Russ, Chris Carson, and the rest of them guys. It feels more complete, and it feels better. And then as far as the AFC, I mean, I feel like we're going to be talking about either the Chiefs or the Rams for the next 5 years. So,
Ravens.
I don't really.
Rams.
Yeah, the Ravens. Excuse me.
Oh, the Ravens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Chiefs or Ravens. So I don't really see. It's like them, and then there's kind of 10 yards of separation between everybody else in the AFC.
Right.
Yeah. I see that. I say the Saints because, I love them.
Yeah.
So I think they'll get there. If they have to play the Vikings in the playoffs, we're fine.
Mm-hmm.
If they get there, which
If they get the way they've been playing, man, and they don't have an easy schedule either.
No, we don't.
This thing where they're playing at home, normally you could always bet on the Saints to win at home, but without the crowd.
Without the crowd, yeah.
It's different animal. Yeah.
And so, and that was my one big thing just looking at this year. I'm like, who am I going to bet on? The really consistent teams and the teams that stay really healthy. That's where my money goes. People, I was looking at who are the key players that don't get hurt? Who are the people I can count on every week after week? Russell Wilson had never been hurt. Never. I mean, Chris Carson, one injury. It was rough, but he's back and he's balling. And then I look at, that's the team. And overall, the team stays healthy. And that's why I take them. I mean, I love us. Don't get me wrong. And I think if we stay healthy down the stretch, once Mike Thomas comes back, we're good.
Oh man, yeah. Well,
if we clean up these penalties, for God's sakes.
129 penalty yards this past game. Jesus, tap dancing Christ! That is just terrible. Terrible, man. Just
Metcalf looking good though, man. He's
DK serious.
Jesus Christ, I'm not going to get him.
That's Calvin Johnson 2.0, man.
Yeah,
easily.
Okay.
Easy. Okay, let's go to answer some of these questions that we got from that post. So first question is from D_Raycliffe. He said Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette, Josh Kelly, or Cooper Kupp in the flex.
Man, it would be between Cooper Kupp is out. Fournette. They've got a decent matchup, but at the same time, I'm a little bit – I don't like a committee. I don't like to have to guess. So Fournette's out. I'm between Kelly and Hunt. It's almost a coin but Carolina is terrible against the run. So I'd have to say Josh Kelly. I'm leaning toward Kelly. I mean, if it's a PPR league, then hey, baby. It's sorry. It's
Good.
It's Kareem Hunt or I'm still leaning Josh Kelly, man. I really like Josh Kelly against Carolina, even with Eckler in. Like, I mean, if you have Eckler and Kelly, totally fine with you playing both of them. So
That's a good one.
Josh Kelly for that one, yeah.
Okay. Next one we got from fantasy_football_outwork. Fournette, Gage, or McKinnon.
Fournette, Gage, or McKinnon. I take it this is in a flex spot. I wish they would say PPR, not.
Yeah.
Fournette, I'm taking out. And watch him blow up. Watch him have a badass game. Look, there's one thing I always say. One thing about being a fantasy expert, and I hate saying expert because what the fuck? I don't understand how – the only way that you're an expert is if you're getting paid a shit ton of money to do it.
Yes.
Good point.
Because you're bringing something else besides just fantasy football.
Correct.
I mean, so Fournette to me is out because I don't want to have to choose. And it was, forgive me, Fournette
is Gage and McKinnon.
Gage and McKinnon.
Russell Gage and McKinnon. Yeah.
Okay. I'm
That's
going
tough,
McKinnon because Russell Gage is balling out. He's got the same amount of targets as anybody on the team. That's including Julio Jones, and that's fucking ridiculous. However, he is a third option, fourth if you count Hayden Hurst, fifth if you count Todd Gurley, because Todd Gurley is an elite receiver out of the backfield. However, nobody likes to use him like that anymore. So I'm going because you have Jeff Wilson, and that's it. And you have McKinnon. So I'm going McKinnon with that in the flex.
And is Jimmy G out this week too?
What's that?
Isn't Jimmy G out this week too, right?
Jay who?
Jimmy G. Garoppolo.
Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo. Actually, from my, and I say my source, I've been blessed enough to meet people. I work for Cadillac, so we have a lot of pro players and stuff come in there. That's where, like, if you see my page, I got pictures and balls and all this stuff. So I get lucky with that. But the guy I know there, they're saying there is a good possibility that Garoppolo will play. I don't know if they'll risk it. Yeah. But either way, you'll have Mullins, and Mullins is going to drop a lot of dump passes out of the backfield, especially if Kittle's not playing. They're saying he might be back in week 3, but that's not.
I saw that. I don't.
You got Jordan Reed, who's definitely a big flex pickup, but to me, it's McKinnon. McKinnon can receive out of the backfield, and he's going to also get some touches as well. So more opportunity to touch the ball.
So even with the possibility of Julio sitting out because he has his hamstring issue, would that still change your mind, or are you still sticking with McKinnon?
Man, it's Julio Jones. He's been hurt his entire life, it seems, and he's still playing.
Damn near, yeah, right.
You know, he's killed me this year. He's.
I'm done with Julio.
No, man, no. Stay the
course. I benched him. I benched him for Russell Gage. I benched him.
Running backs, man.
Look, well, in my non-dynasty league, I have Lamar, CMC, and Julio. I know. I thought I was doing great until I had to bench Julio for Russell Gage, who was the best decision I made all week.
Now, it depends on what your running back situation, receiver situation looks like. I'm big. If you're in a flex and you have a running back that you're in, like if you're juggling, and see, this is me giving advice. Me taking it, I put Mike Davis in at my flex, took him out, put Devontae Parker, took him out, put McKinnon, took him out. I mean, I tinker like crazy. I'm what you call a Tinkerbell in my definition. Yeah. But when it comes to certain advice, like for everybody else, I'm more into opportunity. I want opportunity. That opportunity equals fantasy points as long as they're playing right. Gage will definitely get some opportunity because they're targeting the shit out of him. So, I mean, it just depends on what your wide receiver and running back situation looks like. If you're strong at running back and you feel that Gage will put you where you need to be as far as a flex, I mean, I'm okay with either of those. But in my opinion, I'm putting in McKinnon.
I flex a lot of tight ends.
I hate anybody who puts.
I flex a lot of tight ends. Like that's just that's my look. I'm tight end deep. It is. It's weird. It's who's available, who's left. You know, because I have Higbee, I have Evan Ingram, I have Jordan Reed. Yeah, you know, I had Everett. Yeah, I know he's sneaking in here. Yeah, no, he's sneaking in here. So and then I had Everett at the beginning of the year. You know, and then. So I'm always like everybody else attacks Everett. I'm like, man, they got these great tight ends. I played Higbee and I played Evan last week, and it ended up working out great for me. And unfortunately, I had Jordan Reed on my bench because I didn't think he was going to go off like he did.
I get that. I mean, I had him in a flex play, but I didn't play him. But I mean, that was one of my flex waiver wire pickups that I thought of. But I mean, it's a guy that you would grab and you kind of keep on your bench to see how he does. And then moving forward with the season, like, you know, playing him and stuff. But the first game back, you never, you know, I get that. A lot of people didn't play him. They had a lot of points on their bench. But tight ends, man, toward the end of the season, they become like gold. People start rushing for them.
Yeah.
I got 6 of them. So it's kind of hard to – it wasn't intentional, but there wasn't anybody left. So it was like –
well, technically you have 7 now because I just dropped Gronkowski. He picked him up.
Wait, hold on, bro. How many do y'all have on your team, dog?
Yeah, that's probably 7. He's probably the limit.
No, okay.
You have 7 on your bench?
No, God. I have – no, so I normally start – so we have 2 flex positions. So right now I picked up Schultz.
Okay.
And then I have Schultz, Higbee, and Reed tentatively playing.
Mind you, this is not a tight end premium league. This is a regular PPR league. This is not a tight end premium.
Listen, look. I'm
not Superflex.
Like if I showed you my lineup, you would be like, "What are you doing?" But I mean,
that lineup is strong with what you just put out. But I mean, hang on, man. How many leagues are you playing? Is this 6 spread?
So I have 3 leagues I actively play in. And there are a few others out there that I occasionally flip through. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm still in this league. But in my primary league, the league I actually care about on a day-to-day basis.
That's our league, our dynasty league. Talking about.
I have Schultz, Higbee, Reed,
so disgusting,
Ingram,
bro.
and Gronkowski.
Oh my God, Martin! I mean.
I know, right? I mean, there was literally like I have Connor, Mike Davis, and running back.
Use like 12 syllables and you're like to explain. Okay, like this. Okay, wait, hold on.
I know. I mean, it was literally because I didn't have receivers. It literally I went tight end because I was not very deep at receiver. And receiver wise, I'm still not deep because I have Cole Beasley, DeMarcus Robinson, Steven Sims, and then I normally start. I have John Brown, Devontae Parker, and N'Keal Harry. That's my receivers.
Devontae Parker and John Brown are okay.
But that's what I got, and I got.
In his defense, though, last year he made a championship, so I'm kind of giving the benefit of the doubt right now, but.
I mean, I play numbers. Like, they may not be sexy plays, but it adds up. I play the math of it. And I'm like, you know, Higbee's consistent. I feel like if they all give me double digits, I'm going to win more times than I'm going to lose. I made the championship last year. They did it.
Did you have 6 tight ends on your team in the championship?
I had like 5. Like, I literally I'm playing 2 or 3 tight ends a week at this point.
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
I'm literally playing 2 like you can ask Marlon. Last year, I played 2 or 3 tight ends almost every week.
How?
Higbee came through. I had Gesicki last year.
No, not what did they do? How did you have 3 tight ends playing at one time?
We have 2 flex spots.
Oh.
Yeah. So we have 2 flex spots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
so
had Evan Ingram in one slot. Then he had Tyler Higbee.
I had
yeah.
Ingram. I started Ingram. I had Higbee. I had Disley to start the year before he tore his Achilles, and I was really looking forward to that. So I was looking at, I was going to run Higbee, Ingram, and Disley, and I was like, I felt good about that. And then Disley tore his Achilles. So now I'm like, crap, I picked up Gesicki. Gesicki came through for me. So now my roster is this amalgamation of, who's still alive.
Martin, the tight end whisperer, bro.
Hey, bro.
I swear to God, I can guarantee you, I could talk to, I don't know how many analysts, and none of them will have that. Like,
the fact that he said how, like
tight ends, like I had between Higbee and Ingram, I had 40 points from tight ends.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I gotta play 3 tight ends to win, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run 3 tight ends.
Oh boy!
I mean, if it works.
Okay. All right, Martin, ask me the question.
I mean, I don't. At this point, I'm just here, man. I'm just happy to be here, man.
Okay.
All
right.
Okay. No question.
Next question.
Do I play Mike Davis?
Should I pick up another tight end?
Should I pick up another tight end? Yeah. Let's see who's available right now. Who's available?
Stop it. No.
Should I pick up Dan Arnold?
As co-commissioner of the league, I will stop that. If you pick him up, I'm putting him right back in the waiver wire. I'm not playing with you.
No, man. I'm good. I got 6, and I think I got 1 on injury. I got Thad Moss on IR. So, that's 7. I'm holding him for the future.
All right. I'm over it. All right. The plug. I got a question for you because this is ridiculous.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
When I heard Moss, I was like, okay, we're talking about a running back now. And I was like, wait, Thad? All right.
Let's
move on.
Yes, move on. My question to you. Okay, so this week I'm playing in 2 leagues. I'm playing against Kyler Murray. In both leagues, I have Larry Fitzgerald.
Uh-huh.
Is it a smart move to play Larry Fitzgerald since my opponent has Kyler Murray in my last flex spot, or is that kind of being too cute?
Who else do you have?
Or
is it just that question? You just want to know if it would be smart?
Just that question.
No.
Just like in general, like say you have like Deshaun Watson and you have Brandon Cooks. Like, do you stack like that against your opponent? Is that like a good
kind of
strategy?
set them off. Like if he throws a touchdown to Fitzgerald, then he gets 6 points for the touchdown, and you get 6 points for the. If it was D-Hop, I'd say no problem. Kenyon Drake, but Fitzgerald is Fitzgerald. He's gonna be good for close to 10 points a game. Every once in a while he'll really kill it. It just depends on the opponent. I mean, if you've got another option, go with another option. I wouldn't go with Fitzgerald. But I mean, that's a good question. That's a really good question. A lot of people wonder that type of stuff. I think the same things all the time.
It's bad juju to me. I don't like it.
I mean, it's like
it's just
your opponent gets points and you kind of get points too, so kind of maybe cancel out. But I see what you're saying.
It feels like bad voodoo to me because it's like I don't play. So my lineup, I have two rules I stick by. I always play 3 tight ends, and jokes aside. No, but seriously, I don't play opponents on my lineup. And depending on who it is, like you said, like if it's a D-Hop, I'm going to play him no matter what. But if it's not, like if they're quarterback, I won't necessarily play a corresponding player. I just won't. It don't feel good to me.
Unless it's their tight end.
Yeah, exactly. If it's their tight end, about it. Tight end's a fair game.
It's all bets off. Unbelievable. So my last question to you would be, of all the people you've interviewed so far, like a certain favorite, or they all kind of on the same playing field?
Favorite interview?
Yeah.
Man, this one's pretty much up there. But
really,
me as a person.
Appreciate that.
Man, the first Your first is always, you'll always remember your first.
Yeah,
And
man.
Marcus Allen, that was pretty awesome. Man, I got to tell you, bro was pretty dope. I haven't heard him go off like that. I've heard some of his interviews. I haven't heard all of them, but the ones that I've seen, I've never heard him like this. But man, he really laid into Sean. I mean, he was motherfucking him up and down. I was like, man, okay.
Wow.
It was heated. I mean, you could definitely tell. I mean, he definitely felt what he was saying, like for sure.
Yeah, because a couple weeks ago we interviewed Devin, bro. Like we didn't really get into the specifics of the whole Sean Payton thing. We kind of just dug into him like not playing because of COVID and the CFL, and then like him like doing his bro show and all that stuff like that. So we didn't really dive into too much. So I was kind of intrigued that y'all went into the depths of the whole thing with Sean Payton. So by you hearing that, do you view Sean Payton differently?
I hate to say it, but yeah, I really do. I mean, it sucks to say, but yeah, man. I mean, he's still our coach, and he's still a great coach. But I mean, as far as a player's coach, I mean, as far as a person, I mean, it's like, damn, that's
right.
I've been in places like that with jobs and stuff where they really make you feel like shit. Like if you have to take a day off because you're actually, and they don't, like they make you feel like an asshole for not coming to work. It's not a good feeling. I mean, that's not a good person. I mean, it's sad that it's like that. It really is. But yeah, it definitely made me look at him in a different light. That's for sure.
Damn, that's rough.
Yeah.
You have an idea of when this interview may drop of you and Delvin? Or are you still like working that out?
I mean, we got the preview out. My buddy who's editing it, he's going to be finished this weekend, so we're probably going to drop it out. I'm hoping Sunday. But
nice.
it was the guy, Complicated Kai. He's my editor. He's very good at what he does. Like he's kind of an artist when it comes to this stuff. So I mean, like any of my interviews and stuff, like he started off editing those, and you can see the progression as my interviews have gone. Like he's done different things and added things and stuff, and they end up getting better and better as time goes by. But he really wanted to do Delvin. So yeah, it should be this Sunday. I was kind of hoping it would be sooner. But dude's got a life. I mean, I get it. He's got other things to do besides worry about my shit. So, yeah. But yeah, should be out coming Sunday. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping. Yeah.
Great.
That's what's up, man. Man, look, if you ever need any questions, any input on tight ends, man, look, I'm here. I'm free.
I got.
I'll tell you who my tight end streamer of the week.
I can't.
Hey, bro, look, you know what? I made it further than you did last year, and that's all that matters.
Not this year, though. I can bank that.
We'll see. Maybe one of those, 3 of those 6 tight ends will get me there.
Nah, I kind of doubt that.
Hey, man.
I have George Kittle, so I think I might be okay.
Yeah, Kittle's a beast, man. I mean,
man.
Kittle could play hurt, and he'd crush people, but what he did to us last season.
Oh God.
Ruined my vacation. I mean, that was disgusting. Disgusting. But
yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, Kittle's good. He's gonna be back sooner than later for sure. I mean, they're already talking about wanting to play in week 3, but I think they might hold him out a little bit because Reed did just fine. But Kittle will be back. Excuse me, and he'll end up balling out the rest of the season, no problem.
Yeah. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, man. I love some Kittle, man. I like Kelsey. I'm a Kelsey fan. I really like Kelsey.
I like Kelsey too.
Kittle.
I like both of them. I like tight ends, man. They're great. It's just the versatility of it all.
Stop it.
I can tell you it was Jimmy Graham that got me into tight ends that way.
Hey, I got my basement's being redone right now because it flooded. Besides this, I've got a signed Jimmy Graham jersey that hung up. It's one of my favorite things that I got. Man. I love that thing. I love it.
So speaking of Jimmy Graham, in our little group chat that we have, we're talking about Drew Brees and everything, and one guy made a comment that Drew Brees made Jimmy Graham. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. I think I think Jimmy Graham was always Jimmy Graham, but I think Drew Brees brought Jimmy Graham out of Jimmy, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I agree.
You know, he was going to go when he went to Seattle. Russell Wilson knew what he had in Jimmy Graham, but their game plan didn't flow. And then Russ started going against some of the game plan and started hitting him in the end zone when he caught 10 touchdowns. And they supposedly there was a little bit of an issue with that with him and with Russ and Carroll, but then he got over it. I mean, they were winning games with Graham that way. Then when he went to Green Bay, everybody started talking about him like, oh my God, I can't wait to get him. I'm not touching any tight end in Green Bay ever. Unless we go back to Jermichael Finley, that one season.
Jermichael Finley, way back.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, they never feed the tight ends in that team. I don't know why. You got one of the best like quarterbacks in Aaron Rodgers. That's a dude that I was holding off and drafting him way late.
Oh, he's looking good too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's playing like Aaron Rodgers. LaFleur, as I call him. You ever see Dodgeball? Loser.
Yeah, LaFleur.
The loser started letting Aaron fall, man. Or unless Aaron just said to him and just started
I'm just gonna play.
He can.
So speaking of Aaron Rodgers, do you think this will be his last year? I mean, you never know. They may trade him or something. You think, or I mean, they drafted Jordan Love with their first pick, so you think that his time is kind of running short.
Man, I don't think it's Rodgers by a long shot. I mean, he's what, 37?
What do you mean last year in Green Bay?
Could be his last year.
I mean, it's possible. Well, even next year too, and you never know. And they drafted a quarterback at the first overall pick.
Look,
I mean,
Rodgers seems like way too spiteful of a person for that to be okay. Like, this is like, even if he did, like if he went to Frisco, he went somewhere, you know, like some late career renaissance.
I see him going to San Francisco for real.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You talk about him in Frisco. Oh yeah, man, that's the move.
Oh man, that would be so dirty.
Damn, that'd be something. Yeah,
that would be so nasty. God.
With that defense too.
That defense, George Kittle would get the ball. That would be one dude that Rodgers would definitely feed. Is Kittle when he doesn't even feed tight ends. But I mean, it's a whole different team. And him, Shanahan.
Yeah, I mean, he's a California boy sitting in Santa Clara with that team. Like, Jimmy G's great. He's not Aaron Rodgers.
Dude, you got me really thinking, man. Heard it here first. Martin.
That's it. Hot takes, baby. 6 tight ends.
Okay, you just shit all over each other.
You know, I can't let it be too official now, because then it starts to become something real. Rodgers in Santa Clara. That's it.
We'll see. We shall see.
Yeah, man. So, Marlon, any takeaway? Any final questions for the guru?
Actually, I did have one more question for you. We kind of talked about Aaron Jones a little bit. I got A.J. Dillon in my dynasty draft. Do you think that Aaron Jones gets a new contract, or he's gonna walk?
I mean, I think they're gonna let him walk.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that.
I think they're going to let him walk. I think they are going to let him ball out this season, and then they're going to end up getting something for him. I just do. I know it's a contract season, a contract year.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So no, I mean, I think they're going to let him walk. They've got a guy in A.J. Dillon who, man, if you ever watch the tape on this kid, oh my God.
He's
more size than Popeyes, man. Like he's
like Derrick Henry Jr. If they're saying Derrick Henry Jr.
Yeah, and he can play like him, but can catch the ball better. I mean, he's a good run blocker. I mean, he's just a good player.
He's a complete back, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to get something better than they had in Aaron Jones because they're giving the ball a lot more than Aaron Jones got it, and they're going to get him for a rookie contract.
Yeah,
they're going to let Aaron Jones walk.
Yeah.
They're not going to pay that money for him, even though he deserves it. He's worth it, obviously. But they're
because they don't want to give them. But Green Bay's notorious for that. They don't want to give people that kind of money.
Right.
They don't pay them. So, okay, my one question, and I'm done. I don't have anything else. So,
if you say tight end, I'm done.
This actually has nothing to do with tight ends. Do I legitimately consider playing Mike Davis for the rest of the year in Carolina?
The rest of the year? Or until McCaffrey comes back?
Well, until McCaffrey comes back. I feel like he may have a little bit bigger share, but, for the next, 4 weeks.
Yeah. With the running backs you have, yeah. I mean,
no, you're right. I mean, Mostert's out. James Conner will probably break a kidney. I mean, so what do I have left? I mean,
You could have had Swift. You could have had Gibson.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I still think about that trade. Man, Gibson and Swift and a dynasty.
And Hollywood.
All I wanted was Miles Sanders. All I really wanted.
Not getting Miles Sanders. There's no way. Stop it.
Playing Mike Davis is a good move. It's a good look because if you're in a PPR league especially,
yeah,
he's proven he can catch the ball. He's played in Seattle. He's played let's see where else. Everywhere he's played with the Bears, he's played everywhere he's played. He's been a legitimate pickup in fantasy football. He's been a legitimate running back whenever he gets the chances. I think he's a jinx for teams, like to hurt their lead running back because he always ends up getting the job, but he ends up balling. And in Carolina, they average 8 passes a game to the running back position. Now, I know that's McCaffrey's milieu, if you will. That's his repertoire. That's what he does.
Yeah.
But look at when Davis came in. He came in the second half of the game, caught 8 passes immediately, and got plenty of handoffs. I mean, the dude ended up almost getting 20 fantasy points in one half.
Yeah.
I mean, against a somewhat decent defense, like nothing. I mean, he did well. So I think, he's absolutely a flex starter for sure.
Mm-hmm. I'm good.
Awesome. All right.
Now I gotta go.
So the plug, man, we truly appreciate you coming to this podcast.
Yes, sir,
man.
man.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure.
Guys. Thank y'all so much, Marlon. Appreciate y'all having me, guys. I really do. Anytime y'all want back, just holler at me. I'll be happy to come back.
Oh man, looking forward to it. I'm gonna need advice on what tight end to pick up in 3 weeks.
You're already gonna have all of them, bro. What are you talking about?
Look, I mean, that's it. Who do I drop? Who do I drop for Gronk? Who do I keep?
For Gronk?
Look, you hear it here first. Gronk week 8 is gonna go off. Week 8. Gronkowski gonna have he's gonna have a bill. He's gonna have 20 points.
Marlon ain't trying to hear it, bro.
It's like okay.
For your sake, I hope he does, man.
Look, I'm gonna start 3 tight ends that week. And I'm gonna send the screenshots to everybody.
I say do a screenshot sent to him.
I'm gonna send the screenshots out. It's gonna be Ingram, Higbee, as long as they're not on a bye week. Ingram, Higbee, and Gronk week 8. I'm setting my lineup now.
Okay.
And send that to all the experts that you know. And
send that to everybody.
Put on my story. I'll tag Rank and Grant and everybody. See what
Called it.
It's like, ooh, that's a good strategy. Oh my god.
Some of them gonna be genius.
Like, who the hell is this guy playing on these damn tight ends?
Yo, is this a money league? Can we get in? Shit.
Exactly. Or tight end premium? It's not. I don't know.
That's it. All right, man. Well, look, it's been a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the plug, and this is Daily Dollar Show, and we out.
Pleasure's mine, guys. Thank you.
All right.
And that's another episode. Give us a like and follow on Facebook and Instagram at Daily Dollar Show Podcast. And listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts, on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and more.